Kia ora, hello, welcome into the Garden City Ōtautahi Christchurch on your Friday night. Sky Broadband Rapid League action from Cowles Stadium. It is the Canterbury Rams hosting the Manawatu Jets. Nick Bewley here with former Canterbury Rams, current Tall Blacks head coach Judd Flavel alongside. And real quick turnaround for the Rams, Judd, what, best part of 48 hours ago. Enthralling Rapid League contest, best part of 100 points. The Bulls getting the job done over the Rams to the tune of 54-46, but you're pretty close to this camp still. How have the young lads turned it around, what, some 48 hours later?
Yeah, well, I mean, you travel back home, you recover, and you know, you get ready to back up for the second game. But look, these young fellas, this is their time, you know, their time to shine. So I guess the Rapid League games are, this is what it's all about, you know, backing up and getting back out there on the bike, so to speak.
The Manawatu Jets as well, towards the bottom of the table in Sky Broadband Rapid League. So we take a look at the standings here. The Rams sitting there in 4th position for the time being. The defending champion Nelson Giants picking up where they left off in season 2024, unbeaten. Only one without a mark in that L column. The Rams up there with the top offences in this Rapid League competition in terms of points scored. And have had the likes of Tama Isaac on Wednesday to call upon. He won't play Rapid League tonight, but still a prolific offensive unit that the home team have tonight. There are the Jets at the bottom of the Rapid League standings as things stand. But as you can see, based on the for and against, still very much mix it with the best. And Tyson Thata, as we take a look at the starting fives for the visitors, the property brokers, Manawatu Jets, right up there leading the league in scoring. A lot of scoring threats, this Manawatu outfit, Judd.
Yeah, like these, you know, I guess Matavanadzo, we know in this Rapid League game can get going, get hot, and Thata as well. You know, both those two will play little cameo roles for the NBL game as well. But look at this, just looking at them lining up here, look at the size that they have. You know, with Totoko Wynyard, who we know very well down here. He spent some time with Canterbury and alongside his brother as well, Ty Wynyard. But, you know, with Miller Jost there as well. Like, this is a group that has firepower and the real size. So, going to be a tough matchup here for the Rams, for the young Rams. But, you know, they will come out and be all about speed and connection. And you know, can the big Jets players keep up with that?
There is the Barbecues Direct Canterbury Rams starting five in Rapid League. Jonty Bond, Mana Martin, Jake Holmes, Tony Worthington, and E. Haka Cates. This 6-man rotation. In fact, it looks like Tama Isaac is suited up just in case. But, of course, we'll have a big role to play a little bit later tonight in Sal's NBL. A red-hot start in season 2025. And we'll take a look at that key clash. We'll wait and see if we get to see at some stage those two prolific scorers in Isaac and Fata up against one another. And we are underway. The Jets in a army green.
I like it.
I was going to ask your opinion.
I just, yeah, quietly, I think that's the best uniforms I've seen in the Rapid League so far.
There we go. Head it here first is Miller Jost. Just gets to work, uses that physical presence and size down low.
Yeah, good opening set for the Jets there, looking to play off that little get action and just keep that nice start for them.
Holmes almost loses the handle, kicks it back out to Kate. 5 on the shot clock left is Jonty Bond. And just getting the hand stuck in the cookie jar there, Tyson Thata. Reset here for the Rams.
Yeah, but one of those coach killers where a foul with 1.5 seconds left on the shot clock, and really Jonty Bond didn't really have anything going off that too. So yeah, they got away with one there.
Here is Bond now, and again, good hustle here from the Manawatu Jets, and it's Matavanadzo coast to coast.
Matavanadzo, he's going to cause havoc in the defensively. He's hard to screen. You can see him gets up and into the ball. You know, really cause havoc already with the steal. And that's one thing with this Jets team, like when we get to talking about the NBL as well, it's going to be about the steal, the hands, the quick hands. Jake Holmes with I think the scouting report should be clear that Jake Holmes, if you go underneath any screens or give him daylight, he's going to pull that trigger.
Yeah, Jay Holmes not just shooting from the car park, may as well be in an Ashburton, some of these shots he's put up in Rapid League this season. As foot out of bounds here from Milajos.
Yeah, good defensive slide there from Manawatu, outsized but able to sort of bully him to the baseline and force the turnover. We look at the Rams getting into their passing game here and play off this middle pick and roll.
Yeah, Worthington. Martin with it, get it out to Holmes again, and smooth. Jake Holmes dialed in early.
These two, Manawatu and Jake Holmes, have been carrying the bulk of the scoring load with this Rapid League game, and without fail, these two will do it again, I think, and great signs for our future.
There's Holmes once more with all of the Rams 6 points coming from beyond the arc and showing there's a bit more to his game than just an outside shooter.
Great touch from the big man.
He's jumping out to an 8-4 lead here midway through the first, the Canterbury Rams. Then Whites. Here's the top scorer in the Sky Broadband Rapid League, Tyson Bata. Finger roll. And a whistle. And the foul's going to go on Ihaka Kate. Stay with the Jets. Must ask you, Judd, you were up there in Pukekohe a couple of days ago. A lot of conversation around the tactics and strategy of the Rams. Oh, mate, my phone was blowing up. Shout out to Mike Lacey, who first made me aware. So you've got to ask Judd Flavel, is that 3-ball drops for the Jets? What was going on with the Tama Isaac usage, shall we say, defensively? Lack of usage? Can you talk us through it? It was innovative.
It was a little strategy there. I mean, the objective was can we conserve Tama for the main game, and we have CJ that's coming off the bench. We have Max Darling that's on the bench. We don't want those guys. Well, we can't play the import, so we want to conserve certain players. And one tactic, I guess, of doing that was sitting in a zone, and then we took it one step further and said, can we just do it in a box and have Tama start at the half center court? Stay at center court. So. A little bit of experimentation, I guess, but somewhat there was a plan, I guess, to the method, or method to the plan.
Method to the madness, I think, is one of the sayings. But no, well, yeah, go and have a look on social media if you miss it Wednesday night. Effectively, Franklin playing 5-on-4 as Tyson Darcy's getting that 3-ball cooking. He's up to 5 points. And all of a sudden, just as we were telling that wee story there, Judd, the Jets jump out to a 12-8 lead. Foul on Matamanadze.
In this Rapid game where foul problems not so much of an issue. 5 fouls in the course of 16 minutes. Very rarely you're going to see people foul out. So, Matamanadze doing the right thing, getting up and in and forcing the issue.
Opportunity for subs in as well for the Jets. Matt Foss in the ball game, 24. The Rams cut the lead to 2. Just about a second differential between game and shot clock here late in the first. As Wynyard kicks it out, Milajos, extra pass in the corner, and that is a really nice corner 3 from Joshua Crowley.
And what is that, their third or fourth 3 for the quarter?
Yeah, I think perfect 3 from downtown. Late in the clock here. Jonty Bond's going to have to get that shot up. And I'm sure if Boss got a piece of that, Bond would probably say he did.
Might have just got a little subtle touch, I think, on the hand or somewhere close to the hand. Just enough to kind of put, that ball. I mean, Jonty's not shooting 6 feet short of their hoop.
It's a quarter time, and it's the Jets who have jumped out to a 15-10 lead on the back of the top scorer in the Sky Broadband Rapid League, Tyson Bata. 8 points, 3 from 4 from the field. Perfect from downtown, 2 from 2. And a hot start too for young Jake Holmes out of Rangiora High School with 8 of the Rams' 10 points. And as we see quite a bit in the Sky Broadband Rapid League, the ebbs and flows so quickly, the momentum turns.
Yeah, we talked about the size of the Jets being potentially an issue, but we haven't seen that thus far. It's been the shooting from the outside, and that will be something that Coach Liam Connolly will address, I'm sure. Just putting more pressure out on the perimeter and forcing these guys to have to put the ball on the floor. But the stand-up, catch and shoot right now is where they've been hurt, and let's see some adjustments coming out of this quarter.
Tasty option there on your Friday night to enjoy the Sky Broadband Rapid League and Sal's NBL still to come here on Sky Sport. Scan that QR code there, $39.99, large Brooklyn pizza. Looking forward to the Sal's NBL action still to come, 7:30. Rams, Jets. Rams looking to bounce back from that loss on Wednesday to the Franklin Bulls. 1 or 2 Jets. Led by one-time Canterbury Ram, Corey Webster. 3-3 record as the Rams open the scoring in the second quarter through Manawatu.
Yeah, Mana, he's doing a great job of getting his way into the basket, deep into the paint and right next to the basket, and then having the patience to be able to play off that 2 feet. Solid, he's strong. He's good size for a guard, for a wing, and those are the type of plays that he can make. As you see the Rams sitting here now in a 2-3 zone, this will be... they're probably throwing up a little bit of a change-up right now, but as we see the three-pointer that is missed.
Good outlet pass, Kate to Jonty Bonds. And just like that, it's a one-point game.
Sometimes, you can be reluctant to go to a zone, in particular when a team is a bit hot from the outside, but it can just break a rhythm, like force them to have to be I guess, to stop and think about things, and as opposed to being naturally into the flow.
Worthington tiptoeing down the baseline there to keep it inbound. Here comes Martin now, first step. And gets the shooter's roll, and the Rams back in front. Martin with a couple of buckets here in the second.
And we were just talking about his ability to finish on smaller guys. Right there, he's finishing on the taller Miller-Jose. Fata with the miss. Here goes the Rams.
And that's three-pointers missed in quick succession for the visitors. He's falling in that trap beyond the arc. There's Bond now working with Worthington, and to great effect.
Yeah, see Wynyard sitting down in the drops coverage, and Jonty Bonds doing a great job of snaking back and losing his defender and able to have the freedom and space to rise up. Before that, we saw Miller-Jose out hard showing, so let's see what the strategies is for the Jets here. Is it more personnel based where they're changing up, mixing up their coverages, or is it dependent on who's defending it?
There's Martin now from downtown. Never looked like missing off the hand. Martin in his groove.
Yeah, he's feeling it now. And usually for a basketballer, like getting to the basket, see the ball go through the hoop. Now you start to feel really good about yourself, and then the next catch you're catching it with a lot of confidence. And as we know, confidence is what it's all about in the shooting game.
Far away there from Hutter. And with Miller-Jose now, spin move to the left, can't get it to go. Holmes with the rebound. This is dried up a little bit offensively for Manawatu. Ihaka Kate now gets to his left, spins himself with the offhand. Lovely touch.
Yeah, Rams doing a great job, putting a lot of pressure on the defensive closeouts and able to get to where they want to play off, and that's close to the basket right now.
So 13-2 run here in the second quarter for the Rams, now leading by 6. Is Wynyard to Foss, and the lid is on the cylinder here. Wynyard back out to Nepia Crowley. Good second, third efforts there, using that size advantage to good effect eventually.
Yeah, he did, and he's a good athlete. Miller-Jose, as we've seen before in the past, he can get up off the floor and rebound. Put on some size this year too from last time that I've seen him. It's got to be even more of a priority for the Rams to get into his legs. You can't make it a jumping contest for him, especially when he's got the size on top of you.
A 4-second differential here between game and shot clock as the Jets give the ball some air, and loose there from Nepia Crowley, and using the seconds that are left here as the Rams slow it down, look to finish this first half with a flourish. Martin, deceleration, tip there. Still a little bit of time, it appears, on the stadium clock, 0.2 of a second. Enough for something.
And you know, Martin right there should have delivered that ball just a half a step earlier. You know, he really shut down that passing lanes because of how deep he was.
Oh! Basket, I believe, has been waved off. The Barter card officials are going to come together.
He's saying 0.2 of a second, you can't catch and shoot. It's got to be a tip. So Liam's going to sit there and he's going to argue it.
One for the fans, one for the viewers back at home, but it won't be chalked up as another 2 points for the Rams. But impressive nonetheless from Manawatu to claw the home team back into this contest, currently leading 23 points to 19. A 13-4 second quarter in favour of the Barbecues Direct Canterbury Rams. It's as we've come to expect in Rapid League, no guarantees, no lead is safe. So we'll take a look at the key statistics courtesy of our friends at the Chemist Warehouse. And points one is skipped over, but Jake Holmes still leading the way with 8 points. Manawatu all 7 points there in that second quarter, and well supported too by Jonty Bond with 6 points on the Manawatu Jets side. Tyson Butter leading all scorers with 10. It's been a good first half. Yeah,
Manawatu really took over in that second quarter, and that was the difference. And, you know, able to get to the basket, finish over top of the smaller defenders or even the bigger one, and you know, then got his eye in and confidence in playing from there. The zone really gave just that change up of the zone, sort of tended to, I guess, stall the Jets' offense and flow. They did have open looks, but you know, some good looks there too, but not able to capitalize. Let's see what the Rams going to stay into the zone, and let's see the adjustments that the Jets make as a result of that.
They're shooting in a very high percentage, are the Rams, 10 of 14 from the field. Just a one miss in the 2 point area, 50% from three. The Jets just cooling off a touch in that second quarter, particularly they're shooting beyond the arc. Now in a 37% success rate. And begin the third quarter, the visitors.
And the Rams sticking in that zone again. So I'd like to see the Jets really play off their high-low action, like, you know, feed the ball into their bigs. Let's see if you can get a good, easy look or not, you know, just straight off, guns blazing from the outside.
Or just do that. Tamanadze from downtown cuts it to one.
Really like this. Look at him giving the ball nothing, no space at all, and right up and into the, you know, causing havoc there.
We'll go back to the hot hand of Martin. Lovely little bounce pass. Threads the needle, but Worthington can't finish off the glass. And here comes Manawatu. And here's a bit more ball movement. Tyson Butter not too far away. Kate the other way, going back to that spin. Almost does the splits, but the composure of the young man. Rams back out to a three-point advantage.
Here we go.
Wynyard, here's the two twin towers, if you like, for the Jets. Oh, that's a lovely spin move. Jake Holmes didn't know where he was there. Crowley Napier.
Yeah, fantastic move. You know, I don't know much about Crowley Napier, but showed us, you know, the ability to stop and spin and under control.
Foul there on Wynyard. Yeah, I think this might be the first time this evening a trip to the Chemist Warehouse stripe to shoot some free throws. Yeah, Josh Crowley Napier out at Hutt Valley, Upper Hutt College, and then Hutt Valley High School. 20 years of age. And that's a great thing, isn't it, about the Sky Broadband Rapid League, showcasing young talent around Aotearoa. Is that stick and free throws missed?
Exactly. You know, it starts in Rapid League, as we're going to see. A lot of these young guys, you know, touch the floor, and then it'll lead into somewhere during the season. An opportunity will come where they get onto the NBL stage, and then from that point on, like, it's going to be about you know, the next year and the year after that, and then staying with it as a youngster, you know, coming through. That's half the battle, was really just looking for an opportunity, but also being persistent and staying in the mix, you know, and giving yourself a chance to to make that team and get it back out there on the floor.
Travel there on Holmes.
Yeah. Just one too many fakes there, I think. Got a little bit too much of a happy feet there.
Good contest, this one. 26-25. It's a little over 2 minutes to play in the third. As the Jets have made that adjustment. We'll go back to Manawatu, and here is Miller-Jones fighting for that rebound. A few second chance opportunities. Manawatu is Miller-Jones from downtown. Rebound by Kate.
Definitely happy to be launching from the outside, and I think that's probably what we're going to continue to see. I'd like to see Miller-Jones just continue to be a pest on the inside there, where he's got the size advantage.
Not to be for Tony Worthington. Manawatu will chalk that one up as a win. Good scramble there defensively. Leading by one, the Jets. That's it.
There we go. See a little bit of movement here against the zone.
And good read there by Kate. Martin the other way. Almost had too much time. And fair amount of contact there that was always going to be called on. And Manawatu will head to the Chemist Warehouse stripes to shoot two. Try and get the Rams back in front.
Yeah, Manawatu, that's part of his signature move, is like when he starts to get closer to the basket, he eyes up the defender, you know, and starts to make that veer into the defender to really bump him off. That time, you know, Crowley Napier really read that well and just gave him a little bit too much hitting back, and I think that's you know, what we saw there in Manawatu falling over and drawing the foul.
Makes them both as Martin. So another lead change in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Rams back in front, looking for their fourth win of the season.
Here we go.
Great find, Miller-Jones, Crowley Napier.
Yeah, good offense.
Oh man, the recovery and the block after the miss at the other end by Crowley Napier.
The one thing in the zone, you know, defensively, you can see that if you can secure those defensive rebounds, the guards sitting at the top are really quick out of the gate and able to get ahead. Crowley Napier, though, up for the challenge and getting back and saving it.
This little mid-range game there from Jake Holmes. He goes into double-digit scoring for the afternoon.
Showing you a little bit of everything tonight, isn't he? Like the pull-up game, the runner, the catch-and-shoot three that we know all too well.
Fine there, but meets him at the rim. Jake Holmes. What an afternoon he's having. And now pulls up from downtown. Oh, how good. Way to announce yourself on national television, Jake Holmes. Tyson Dutton now deep in his bag. Too far away as Kate brings in the rebound. Shot clock's off late in the third. Manawatu. Oh, where's it from Worthington? And it is called removing screen.
I tell you what, like he's a tough defender. You know, not much to him size-wise, but that really allows him to get so close to the basketball, and he's a real difficult target to screen too, being that close.
Tyson Butter at the end of the third doesn't go. And the Rams, well, the Jets went on a little mini run of sorts, but the Rams weathered it, came back with a couple of punches of their own to lead 32 points to 26 at three-quarter time. It was Jake Holmes again, so exploded out of the gates with that three-point shooting, jarred in the first quarter, but as you alluded to there, it was different elements of his offensive game there to the fore.
Yeah, just showing, you know, obviously playing with a lot of confidence, you know, being able to pull up on the dime like that, but you know, the defensive, I guess that we've seen the plays on the defensive end too. You know, up meeting Miller Jose at the top of the summit there.
Yeah.
And like, he's a good, exciting talent. Obviously, got the length, he's got the shooting, he's got, you know, lots to his game, and still learning. Such a great coachable kid as well. And I think that's probably the most important thing, is while he's got these skills and attributes, the key one is that the hunger to learn, and you know, if he continues to stay on that path and with that mindset, you know, then the world's his oyster.
First year in this Rams Rapid League environment for Jake Holmes. There's a principal name sponsor, Sky Broadband. FIBA package there, start up $50 a month the first year. Details there to your right. As we get underway in this fourth, expect to see a lot more of Holmes and Martin for the Rams. And oh, good work there. The help D came across. Crowley Napier with the steal.
It's the next evolution for, you know, some of the younger players. We talk about Manawatu at the end of the second quarter, just not seeing the pass early enough. You know, just having the vision while you got your downhill mentality, but still being able to see the kick out, seeing the help defender come, you know, and not putting yourself into too much danger.
Just an extra step there by Marty Davidson, so that one won't count, much to the dismay of young Iaka Kate. Couldn't believe the call.
I like the way Manawatu's up the floor. You know, they were playing a zone. They're man-to-man at the moment, but even in their zone defense, he was up the floor, pressuring the basketball.
Good contest there by Worthington. And here comes Ihaka Kate. This time gets it to go the other way with the left hand.
Nice finish. You know, found the angle off the glass, you know, coming up against the bigger Tautoko Wynyard, but able to kiss that one nicely.
An 8-point lead. It's verging on uncomfortable here for the Jets, who have to go chasing soon-ish. As again, well, 2-0. This little contest between Holmes and Miller Jose. Seeing Jake Holmes in his sleep. Oh, Miller Jose, unfortunately. Love to see it, though. Love the confidence from both young men.
Absolutely. Jake Holmes. You know, I haven't seen that. I've seen him do it once before, but, you know, twice in one game right now.
Back the way of the Jets. Need a bucket here, and they go to their veteran, Matambanadso.
Yeah, good look for the Jets.
Oh, it's a block party at Cowles, but Manawatu staying with it. Gets another crack and puts it up and in. Now it's a 10-point buffer. First time in a long time at double digits. Only the first time tonight.
Yeah, I talked about, oh, nice little dump off there and finish. Talked about the length of the Jets' big man, but the length of the wings of the Rams with Ihaka Kate, Manawatu, and Jake Holmes on the perimeter, you know, really doing a good job of impacting the smaller guards on the outside, you know, able to contest the shot. And when they put the ball on the floor, able to kind of like cover the passing lanes, cover a lot of ground in that zone.
There is Miller Jose.
Nice finish.
And does really well.
Yep.
In a real tangle there. It's decelerated and found the poise. Put it up and in off the glass. And just like that, there's still 1:41 to play. Cut this to, already is 2-possession game, but cut it to 5 points.
Oh, it's never over in the Rapid League, is it? It keeps you on the edge of your seat.
1:41's an eternity in this competition as Miller Jose gets the roll and
back to a 5-point ball game. Here we go.
10
2 possessions.
30 seconds to go. And Manawatu is taking his time. Holmes.
Good play.
Lovely
good
high
play.
arc, right shot. Just couldn't connect. He'll go again from almost the same spot, and this time he makes no mistake. Jake Holmes, he's wearing 16. He's got 16.
Nothing better for a shooter to, after a miss, to just get the ball back, right back in the same spot, make the little adjustment, and able to knock that one down.
Oh, lovely. 3-pointer right back at you from Josh Napier-Crowley. So back to 5 points. A stop here would make things interesting, and they're going to say that was last touched. In fact, no, it's a blocking foul. And Manawatu looks like he might have opened up here, unfortunately. Cut to the upper eye.
Yeah, we're going to need get
some pretty immediate medical attention. And for the first time tonight, I didn't really acknowledge the fact that these 5 young men have really just been playing every minute with no substitutions. But in comes Tama Isaac.
Not a bad sub to come off the bench there.
Impact player. Fresh off 24 points, the Canterbury Rams record in Sky Broadband Rapid League 2 days ago.
The worst thing for Tama, he's been sitting down there for 20 minutes, so he's was expecting not to get up and play, but
and a slight delay here. Martin was doing his absolute best to keep that claret from finding its way on the floor, but he's Calvin Davidson, Ajax spray and white. Should just be a very short delay. Good man as Calvin looks after us here at Cowles Stadium.
That's a sponsor opportunity right there for the league, isn't it?
Justin Nelson's always looking. Back underway. Here is Holmes. I'm going to add to his 16 points, and Miller Jose gets one back. Here come Manawatu, and again they meet high.
Love it. Love the persistence right there. And here we go. We have ourselves a one-possession game.
And they go to Tama Isaac, unsurprisingly so. A lot of ball movement here. And Isaac leaves it short and leaves the door open for Manawatu. Where do they go? They go to their veteran, Matamaradzo. Finds Wynyard. Nice. Oh, lovely hesitation, patience. But it's just a one-point game.
The Jets are going to play this one out and don't want to foul, or are they going to get up and in and try to double and force a quick shot here?
BNZ player timeout as well to consider.
That's right, yeah. With the player timeout, this is so important because you can rebound the miss and then get a timeout, and with probably four seconds left in the shot clock, I'd imagine.
Here we go, about 4 left. There's the teardrop from Tama, doesn't go. Manawatu, they want to call it. They do call it. Great recognition from Tyson Tata.
Yeah, just seeing Marty Davidson, ref, right now just pushing that clock back up to 2.5. So critical every half second, you know, that be able to put on the clock. So they have time now to catch and shoot and catch and drive. Maybe even catch and make one more pass, but yeah, a two-pointer will get the job done here.
Well, shout out to Manawatu. I believe it was 36-26. I feel like that scoreline is ringing in my head, and all of a sudden 12-3 run, and they are back in business and have a real opportunity here, sitting at the bottom of the Sky Broadband Rapid League ladder, heading into this contest, chalk up their second win. Where do they go? I'm feeling that Tyson Tata will immediately sprint into some form of action off the inbound. Or do they go to their size? We're still just getting that clock sorted.
Do you foul if you're the Rams? You know, do you foul? Do you see them get through the action? And I mean, they have to be facing the other direction, not facing the basket. Otherwise, they can get straight into their shooting motion, and you don't want to put the hands of the game into the ref. So it's something that you know, these type of strategies and late shot clock, late end of game situations are all the discussions that coaches have in the you know, during the season. They're just checking to see, make sure that's 2.5 seconds, or is that 2 minutes?
Yeah, I think we've got 2 minutes 50 as things stand. So we'll get that corrected, of course, in the not too distant future. 7:30, Sal's NBL action. Rams, Jets, and worth mentioning too, we're going to be live on TikTok for that one. So you need to get away from your Sky Sport decoder in your lounge area and keep following along on your smartphone, and please do over on TikTok. There is Liam Connolly, who's making sure all that spacing is correct from his 5 on the court defensively. Milajos, he'll go himself. Oh, great closeout. Ihaka Kate. And the Canterbury Rams prevail. A bit of a scare down the stretch. And they get the job done by one, 39 points to 38. And Jake Holmes had himself a night with 16 points on 6 of 8 shooting, 4 from 6 from downtown, and 2 highlight blocks for good measure as well on Isaac Miller-Jose. Cracking contest though, ebbed and flowed. Really treated some great games in this Sky Broadband Rapid League competition. Ihaka Kate had a big say as well. 8 rebounds, 4 assists. So the Canterbury Rams will move through to 4 wins on their 7 games so far. And these Rapid League wins, unfortunately for the Jets, proving rather elusive. Let's send it across court to Judd Flavel, and he's got the man of the moment, Jake Holmes.
I'm here with Jake Holmes. Jake Holmes, 16 points in that ball game. You've been feeling really good out there offensively. Talk us through that one for you.
Just took my shots, was aggressive off the dribble, and looked at my teammates. Yeah.
And also on the defensive end, showing us that you can get up and get a couple of blocks there too. Talk us through, I guess, that win for you guys as a team, and I guess for you guys for the season.
We made a switch up to go to a 2-3 zone there. I think that worked quite well. Just they had 2 bigs inside, so it was just watching the inside on that, and I guess it was helping out on the weak side a little bit. But yeah, defensively, just they got a few frees up, so starting to get the ball a little bit more, and then getting through those top pick and rolls. But yeah.
Oh, good job getting the win, mate.
Thank you.
Jake Holmes, that's a young man we're going to see a fair bit more of over the years in the Canterbury Rams uniform. Well, time for a bit of a breather here in the Garden City, but don't go too far. 7:30, our coverage resumes. Sal's NBL action, the defending champion Canterbury Rams. Can they bounce back after their defeat at the hands of Franklin a couple of nights ago? We're about to find out. See you soon. Kia ora, hello and welcome into Cowles Stadium here in Ōtautahi, Christchurch. Sal's NBL action on your Friday night. It is the defending champion Canterbury Rams hosting the Manawatu Jets. Nick Bewley here with former Rams, current Tall Blacks head coach Judd Flavel alongside in commentary tonight. Really looking forward to this one. Just 2 nights on from the Rams' 4-game win streak ending at the hands of the Franklin Bulls up there in Pukekohe. Judd, you were there. What was your assessment of that game and how have the Rams quickly recovered and put that to one side ahead of tonight's challenge?
Yeah, firstly, I thought the Bulls did a fantastic job just taking the Rams out of their free-flowing offense that we've been so accustomed to seeing. You know, I think that was where the learnings for the Rams, the key takeaways is how can they neutralize the physicality part, but also what the Bulls did is really, I thought, took the physicality test to like the rebounding, won the rebounding contest and just picking up all the scraps there. So the Rams will be really, hurting from that, and nothing better to have a quick turnaround when you're a player that can quickly right those wrongs and get back into this next contest, which is up against the Jets, who are potent with their scorers in the backcourt there, but going to be a fun one.
Get involved in our mix and pick poll. A lot of love for the Canterbury Rams. Of course, unbeaten still in their gym. Wins over the Nelson Giants, Southland Sharks and Wellington Saints so far. The Manawatu Jets, their record probably deceives slightly. They're currently 7th on the ladder, 3 wins, 3 losses. But then you dig a little bit deeper, you look at these losses, and 103 to 100 to the Hawks, 108, 104 to the Nuggets, and 93, 92 to the Saints. I mean, it could have been a completely different story. As we take a look at the Sal's NBL standings, the Rams can move back to top spot tonight, depending on for and against, of course, but 2 teams above them with 5 wins, 2 losses. The Bulls jumping ahead. The Saints up to top spot after their win last night. As mentioned, the Jets, as we roll it through to the next slide, just sitting there in 7th position, but really strong offensive, top offensive team in this league. No surprises when you got someone like Corey Webster in your roster, but just need to tidy up a little bit defensively and they won't be too far away.
Yeah, they're really getting the job done on the offensive end. Like, you even look at their points percentage, they're sitting at a 109. So really doing a lot of good things. And that surprised me because a completely new coaching staff, a completely new roster that they put together and assembled. And usually it takes a little bit longer for you to start firing, but when you throw in the mixes or the names of Webster, Corey Webster and Russo Nance, and also what we've seen within the early stages with Miles Gibson, these guys can play and they've found a good chemistry on the court, and they're playing with a lot of freedom, and that's a dangerous team.
Jets, quick turnaround for them after this one. They'll head back home and play on Sunday. The Rams have a bit of a break after this until Easter Sunday. They'll be back in this gym against the Otago Nuggets. Here is the property brokers, Manawatu Jets starting 5. They get a lot of minutes out of this group with Webster and Russo Nance, the guards. Williams Jr., Gibson and Goins as well. And a little bit earlier this evening, Judd caught up with one of the Jets imports, Miles Gibson.
Welcome to Christchurch, firstly. First time in the Sal's NBL. How have you found it so far in the first stages of the season?
It's been good. We've been real battle tested. I mean, we had 5 first away games, and I think with the new coach and the new team, that's been adjusting well, me personally and also the club.
And just on that, you guys have been on the road a lot, and I think, has that been a part of bringing you guys closer together? A new team, like you say, new faces, and being this this early stages of the season.
Definitely a lot of road trips. I mean, playing a lot of away games always bring teams together, but I do think it's brought us together as a team, handling adversity. But as long as we get home, we can play in front of our crowd. I think that'll be better.
And you guys have been in every single ball game. It's been down to the wire. You've had your chances there, even with the losses. Tonight you face a Canterbury Rams team, fresh off a loss as well. What are some of the keys for you guys tonight to walk out of here with a win?
Yeah, all our games have been close. I mean, 1 or 2 points. But tonight I think we just got to focus on defending, rebounding, and transition defense, and I think we'll be just fine.
I appreciate you and all the best.
Canterbury Rams starting five is worth mentioning. No Max Darling tonight. He's pulled up with a little bit of calf soreness, so he is out. But the starting five, more or less consistent here with Taylor Britt, Kaya Isaac. They've got Toy Smith-Milner, Kyle Bowen and Walter Brown as well, which does mean one of their new additions, and for the first time here in their home gym at Cowles Stadium in Christchurch, CJ Penner will come off the bench, and he caught up a little bit earlier with Judd.
First home game for the Rams here in your new home city. How have you settled into Christchurch?
I've settled in well. People's been super nice. It's a beautiful city, so I've definitely been getting out since a little bit since I've been here, going seeing the greenery. So it's been really nice.
And played, quick turnaround after the performance on Wednesday night against the Bulls. Tough loss there. What are some of the key learnings or takeaways from that game?
Key takeaways: we just got to come out more aggressive. I feel like we came out flat. We just got to hustle, outwork. So I think coming into this game, we just got to make sure we playing extremely hard, harder than we did last game.
And the Jets tonight, you've got offensive firepower all over the place. How do you plan on slowing them down? What's the game plan there on the defensive end?
Yeah, they're really a fast-paced team. They like to get out in transition, so our main keys is to limit them in transition, make sure that we're jamming, and then try to slow them down as much as you can, and then do our defensive tendencies and play our game.
All the best for tonight.
Interested to see the impact of Pena off the bench. Started very strongly on Wednesday night. 18 points, 10 rebounds, 8 of them offensively. But if we take a look, Judd, at the Chemist Warehouse head-to-head, the focus is going to be on the battle of the guards. Two guys that know each other well, were teammates in the Rams in 2023. A lot of tall black basketball as well. How do you see that one playing out with two players in Taylor Britt and Corey Webster knowing each other so well?
Yeah, both these two, the head of the offense for both their teams, and we won't see them matching up against each other a lot tonight. They'll have other matchups, but yeah, these two, depending on how they go, really drives the offense. Corey, both of them really set the table for everybody else in different ways. Taylor will see more sort of downhill towards the basket. Can he collapse the defense and find his shooters? And then Corey, we're going to see, him, if he's left open, he's going to do a lot of damage there. He's going to create a lot of attention on the perimeter, and can he find his teammates, which he has been, and which he does so well as well. So, yeah, interesting matchup, and we got good matchups across in the starting group as well, in other spots, which we're really looking forward to as well.
Bartercard match officials: Matthew Bathurst, Marty Davison, Blake Rosanowski. This moment's away. Sal's NBL action. The Rams in their black pinstripe strip. The Jets in their alternative grey. And our official match ball presenter tonight, about to make her way onto the court, Lily from Shirley Intermediate here in Christchurch. Plays for Pioneer. Refs the game basketball as well, which is great to see, another way of giving back. And her favourite player is Taylor Britt, which popular pick. My favourite player too, I reckon.
Talk about the Jets and their start, and this is their fifth, maybe their sixth game on the road.
Yeah.
They've had one home game, and what that can do is really galvanise your team, especially if being a new team and new roster. You can really bring them closer together, spend all their time on the road, quicker than what you would if you're playing all your games at home. So
Rams going to open things up off the tip from Tohi Smith-Milner. And here is Taylor Britt getting to work early. Recovery there, Russo Nance. Nice LeBron cut, if you like, from Walter Brown, and he gets the scoring underway for the Rams.
And that's what Walter Brown, we're accustomed to seeing, just his, his back cuts, his reads on those cutting angles, and seeing his defender turn his head. Williams Jr. Lost them there. Shouldn't have let that one happen. Nice pass there. No backside help there for the Rams. They'll be disappointed about giving up that early layup.
Russo Nance is averaging just a shade over 4 assists a game. Puts the dime up there, and Taylor Britt responds at the other end, connecting with Kai Bowen. There's Russo Nance. Formerly of the Nuggets and the Tuatara, of course. First season at Manawatu. Corner 3 doesn't go, and here come the Rams pushing that pace. Britt trying to get round Coins. Isaac. We see it here. There is Britt on Webster, and Britt prevails early. Heard a bit of words too as they get in a tangle back over the half court. So Nance in the corner now to Gibson, doesn't get that 3 ball to go. And Coins gonna hustle, but then well read there by Brown. Britt, Isaac, can't go. Coins at the rebound.
And Coins, you know, he may not be the leading scorer tonight, and but he's certainly going to be a guy that they really depend upon, you know, to win this game with his energy plays, his rebounding.
Webster now gets cooking early.
That's the signature, going left, pull up, so just so quick on it.
Rams back the other way through Isaac Smith-Milner. A lot of ball movement as Britt, this time off the ball in the corner, doesn't get the 3 to go. Webster.
This is a matchup that Corey likes.
He's always going to pull up there after that first make. It's Britt now the other way and tries to fashion something with the offhand. And the foul is going to go on Dante Russo-Nance. And a first trip to the Chemist Warehouse stripe for Taylor Britt, who's averaging just a tick under 20 points a game so far this season.
Yeah, a little bit to come out of this. I guess the refs for this week is there been a lot of talk about the hand checking in the early stages. So, you know, whenever you have a message come out from the lead ref, you know, Ken Colson, and talking about hand checking, you can tell that that foul right there that Russo-Nance had was just his hand on Taylor Britt as he was advancing into that shot. And hence we see him at the foul line. And the Jets are going to be careful, you know, like they don't venture too deep into their bench, and these guys play a lot of minutes. We were just looking earlier, weren't we, with Corey Webster averaging, was it 37, 38 minutes per game. Miles Gibson, another one that plays a lot. So they're going to need these guys on the floor. They've really got to be smart with their fouls and really, yeah, be disciplined.
Yeah, Webster and Gibson leading the league in terms of minutes is just open up there for Smith-Milner. The waltz on through. Boxing out from the Jets.
Cardinal sin, giving up the offensive rebound on a free throw right there.
So 9-4 the lead is. I believe that slight delay in game there was Marty Davidson, the official, just clarifying that Webster make is actually a 2. So just a slight adjustment there on the score for the Jets. It's the Rams again get to their action. Bowen. Can't get that 3 ball to go. And here comes the Jets the other way. Russo-Nance. Frustrated at the no call there and tries to get something going with the offhand. Frustration just evident there for Dante Russo-Nance as Smith-Milner. Razzle-dazzle connecting with the fellow big. Bowen doesn't go. Brown, though, creates a second chance for himself in the corner, and the Jets get away with it.
Yeah, Jets got to be careful here. They've got to tidy up that rebounding. We talked about the missed free throw opportunity that they had, but just, yeah, too many offensive rebounds here. The Jets got to do a better job there.
There's that trademark mid-range game. A long 2 from Webster doesn't go. Right, a turnover the other way, loose from Bowen. And Russo-Nance will go himself, creates the contacts, gets the whistle, and we'll head to the Chemist Warehouse stripe for a potential 3-point play.
Yeah, good job initiating the contact there and selling the foul there and kissing that one off the glass. Tohi would just never quite had the angle there, and as you see, never really established that true position in front. This has a bit of a you know, just coming off the Bulls game and seeing how the physicality and the battle on the boards and, you know, the loose balls. This has a much different feel to this game.
So Nance leaves the free throws short, and that's an acknowledgement of that potential fatigue there with CJ Pena straight in for Kyle Bowen as Walter Brown.
Yeah, that's too easy. That's too easy. Like a catch and walk down the park, lay up right now. The Jets got to do a better job.
We go to Webster. Double team momentarily. Adam Tama Isaac on the floor as well now. Mismatch with Goins attacking. Rams do well.
Yeah.
Smith-Milner. Britt again in this left corner. Oh, lovely spin move on Russo Nance. And Coach Webster of the Jets wants a word.
Yeah, good timeout, good timeout. A few things to address there for the Jets. You know, in particular on the defensive end right now, even though, you know, the score line, you know, well, 13 points is too many, but it's just the way that they've been scoring, you know, it's like too easy getting to the basket right now.
We've seen the action with Taylor Britt in the corner, having a good use as well. We're, of course, on TikTok as well tonight, the Sky Sport NZ TikTok, so you're going to join us over there, leave us a comment, and chatting away during the commercial breaks at quarter time and half time, so feel free to get involved over on TikTok. It's the Rams who have jumped out to an early lead, and I'm sure probably one of the with that in mind on Wednesday night, that game, establishing an early lead and not letting those tired legs come into it down the stretch, and, you know, starting well, certainly a focus.
Yeah, you know, look to, you know, no Max Darling out there tonight. You know, probably venture a little bit deeper into, you know, somebody like Ihaka Kate coming in on the floor and picking up maybe a handful of minutes. But just having those lineups, being able to mix them in and having good quick rotations, you know, and which they've been doing a good job with that. You know, Coach Quinn Clinton wants to play an up-tempo style, and so they'll be doing that anyway. But
lovely leg footwork there, I should say, from Russo Nance, and delay game call though on the way down. And Coach Webster is chatting away to Mathis there.
Not happy with something there.
No way, a coach not happy? There's Brett again in this left corner, going to that spin move, this time pulling up from about 10 feet, doesn't go. Collins with the rebound. Oh, goodness me. And Goins will try and plead his case, but I was going to call it how I saw it. Definitely the elbow came away from the hip. Might get a second look, but the officials didn't miss it either.
Just unnecessary, you know. I think Taylor Britt put some extra sauce on that one, but, you know, this is one of those points where that's a key focus for what the refs and what they're establishing, trying to establish in the game.
So all the Rams possession. Taylor Britt back up on his feet, no harm done, but just waiting on a ball here. That's yeah, unnecessary as to say, Judd, and the Rams get another opportunity. Their offensive end. Here is Britt. Two-man game with Kyle Bowen. And that time, Russo Nance. Perfect execution with the steal. And Miller Jose gets it to go the other way.
Explosive down the court. We talked about how athletic his athleticism in the Rapid League game. We didn't really get to see it so much, or we did. And we saw Jake Holmes sort of meet him at the top, but that one there showing the athleticism down the court.
I was going to say, he's had a pretty eventful night with the Rapid League, Sky Broadband Rapid League a little bit earlier on. Highlight moments not falling his way with Jake Holmes blocking him, meeting him at the summit. Doesn't complete the three-point play, but the Jets cut it to 3. It's Tama Isaac now. We'll battle this. A couple of young guards on the rise. Tama Isaac opens his account.
Tama's just had a fantastic start to this season, NBL season. You know, playing with so much confidence, not taking a backward step. You know, 18 years old, able to get out there and, you know, he's straight into it, not backing down. And this is a good matchup here between the two young guards here with Tama Isaac and Russo Nance. You know, two key figures of New Zealand basketball going forward.
Pressure on Webster there, and it's slightly late whistle, you'd have to say.
Smart.
Foul on Bowen.
Yeah, Corey, you know, he's seen a million hard shows before in his life, and, you know, one of the ways he's going to attack that is to really, once he sees a hand come across, he's going to grab that hand, hook that hand, and really sell the foul.
Back to Russo Nance. They go again looking to get Webster involved. Walter Brown's got the assignment tonight. No surprises there. As Isaac, Kyle Isaac that is, gets a deflection on the way through. And Webster pass.
Yeah, we're seeing Corey getting a lot of attention off those pick and rolls. He's going to see two every time he comes off it.
Great work there by Brown. Oh, the double effort. Pinballs around eventually with Pena. 2-on-1. Isaac gets it back. Unselfish basketball. Beautiful Canterbury Rams basketball.
And that's what CJ's going to bring to the table for this Canterbury Rams. Like his energy down court, has the guard skill, the skills there to be able to play off the bounce and make that pass. Yeah, really excited about CJ and Pena here in like first game, 18 points, but the rebounds, did we talk about how many offensive rebounds? 6 offensive rebounds?
6 offensive, 10 total, yeah.
All the energy plays. Good size too. Good athleticism as well. Going to be a big piece to this Rams.
Miles Gibson, big piece of this Jets roster. Can't get that 3-ball to go.
And that piece has been pivotal for the Rams over the last 2 years. You know, 2 seasons we were seeing. We talk about that import and that big spot and the mobility or the athleticism. The having dynamic play, you know, Troy Baxter Jr. was exactly like that, and KJ Buffin, as we got to love, and 2 key figures in our championships.
Heavy contact there. So Nance falling in an awkward position, but it's back up now. And here's Eric Williams Jr. in the corner. Back to Russo Nance, and Pena just a little over-eager in the closeout, and that's a couple of quick fouls. Probably going to have to come out at this one, potentially. You can glance over at young first-year head coach Quinn Clinton having a think. Take a second look on the replay, and
they only have him one.
Okay. See, I thought a couple of possessions ago it was on him.
That's exactly what I thought.
But the fouls racking up for the Rams, so we'll take a look at Coach Tony Webster. Very engaged.
And we saw Corey come off that stagger screen too, that off the basketball. You know, that may be a better ploy, just to have him working more off the basketball, and so he's not seeing 2 bodies every time he has the ball in his hands. And see if they can generate, you know, some type of advantage of different off-ball actions.
Brown, Kai Isaac in the right corner, and connects. Kai Isaac had that monster 27-point game against the Southland Sharks. A little bit quiet offensively in the last 3, but such a crucial piece in this roster.
Yeah, the growth of Kai Isaac over the years has been the ability to become a trusted shooter on the outside and really having confidence, full confidence of it. But regardless if he's hitting and just had this discussion with him the other day, because, you know, he didn't get his eye in against the Bulls, but as long as he's bringing all the other areas to the game, you know, and shooting is one of those areas that we all want to be Steph Curry on every single night, but it's just not going to happen every single time.
Miller Joe's good find. Williams Jr. wide open, almost gets the favourable roll, and then Just a complete breakdown there. Smith Milner and Britt not reading each other.
Yeah, just a couple of sloppy plays there for the Rams, you know, like even though there was a sort of a loose ball last time, it kind of got, I think, kicked off Tama Isaac's leg and it ended up in CJ's hands eventually, but just a couple of areas there to tidy up for them.
Goins kicks it out to Miller-Jose, who gets a very nice roll, kisses off the glass and in from downtown.
And Corey Webster won't get a stat for that, but he delivered the ball, he got double teamed or hard show, he saw two people who made the right pass, they made one extra, and they have a wide open 3-ball, you know, so this is the ball game that we're going to see tonight is can these guys knock down their shots, because Corey is going to set the table for them, so to speak, and if they can continue to knock down these shots, they're going to be right in this ball game.
There's so much is said about Corey Webster being a walking bucket, but it's his creativity and being a facilitator, and it's equally as effective as Kai Isaac. Here's just another example, Judd, of that. Just a little loose here, the Rams.
Some soap on their basketball.
Here's Webster now. Patience. Doesn't go, but Gibson stays with it. Smith Milner gets a piece. Who wants it? Fighting over the last chip at New Brighton Beach. And eventually goes the way of the home team. Tip there on the pass out to Isaac, and a foul on the drive. And timeout called here. Good timeout, you feel, just to talk things over in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Just hasn't been that clean basketball we've become accustomed to here at Cowles Stadium.
Yeah, that's right. Just settle down, you know, good time out here just to settle themselves down. I mean, nothing wrong as far as the scoreboard's concerned, but really you can start to see that there's some things there that are not quite right, and whether they just need to sort of take a breather or whether it's just they grab that ball, snatch that ball, secure the basketball, and, you know, let's be more solid and establish ourselves in this ball game. Haven't talked about Williams Jr. yet as much, but I think he's been one of those key cogs for the Jets as well. You know, you're not going to see it so much from the outside, but although last game against the Saints, you know, he was able to knock 2 or 3 threes down, and but it's the effort plays. You're going to see him slash into the basket. You're going to see, you know, similar things that we talked about, attributes about CJ Pena, like getting ahead in the break, you know, just a handful on the offensive glass. And when you have shooters like Webster, Gibson and Russo-Nance, you know, you do need somebody that's willing to just go every single time, because, you know, there's going to be plenty of offensive rebounds to be had there.
And this is one of these rare moments tonight where we'll see the Jets with no Russo-Nance and no Corey Webster on the court. And they get a turnover here, and Goins.
Yeah, another turnover. Just the quick hands. The Jets do have defenders there. You know, Webster, Corey Webster is a guy that can really put a lot of hand pressure on the basketball. Russo-Nance is similar. Yeah, really got to take care of the basketball here.
Well, I was just looking at some of these stats for the season. I mean, Russo-Nance, 3 steals a game. Corey, 2 steals a game. Eric Williams Jr., 2.4 steals a game. So constantly active at the defensive end, which is what creates a lot of their offense. As Kyle Bowen earns himself a trip to the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
And sometimes they can surprise you with that. You know, you expect a lot of maybe body contact, and you're probably not going to see that tonight. But if you're loose with the basketball, and you're exposing the basketball, then, you know, that's when these guys and the Jets in particular are able to get their hands in there.
On 1 from 2 from the stripe, and subs coming in for the Jets. Dylan Collins in for Miller-Jose.
Good minutes there from Miller-Jose, you know, just exactly what they needed, coming off the bench, making an impact.
Gibson now taking focal role.
The Rams doing what they do, extending their pressure up the floor.
Here is Williams Jr. And how about that for creativity?
finishing with the right hand. I'm pretty sure he's left-handed.
Certainly is, yeah.
But able to finish with the weak hand there. Great finish. You can see the explosiveness there too, the athleticism where he's able to take on the hard show. Look at taking on the recovery and get himself to the foul line.
Can't complete the three-point play, but first bucket of the night for Eric Williams Jr. Shot clock's off late in the first. Rams leading by 2.
And we see a 3-2 zone here from the Jets. Finish off this quarter.
Britt, extra pass. Ihaka Kate. Kai Isaac didn't get it off in time. Wouldn't have counted. So at quarter time, it is the Canterbury Rams who are in front, but I'll tell you what, if you look at the body language, the Manawatu Jets are pretty happy about their position. It's 21-19 here at Cowles Stadium. Coverage tonight, just having a quick glance down at the game up here as Judd's going to have a look at the box score here, see if any good comments through. Did enjoy one earlier. Judd might have a say about this, although he's probably got a little bit of bias. Who's got the best stadium in the NBL?
Oh, best stadium. Well, it's got to be Cowles in terms of noise and crowd and overall atmosphere. I think that it's hard to beat. It is small. It is.
It's intimate.
It's intimate. It's certainly had a lot of basketball played on it. But I really like the North Shore Event Centre too. It's North Shore Event Finder, I should say.
Yeah.
But it's another home of basketball. You know, it has a lot of history there as well. You know, not just with the Auckland Tuatara, but you know the Breakers of old, and also a lot of international games there as well. More of a sentimental guy, I guess. You know, with those two.
Second quarter fast approaching. Still looking for a Friday night feast. Not many better options than a large Brooklyn pizza at Sal's. Just use that online code Sal's Score 25 or the QR code there on your screen. Just talking during the Sky commercial break there, Nick Ewley with Judd Flav alongside about Cowles Stadium, and I understand potentially it might be the last for the Canterbury Rams. Plans, of course, here in Christchurch for Parakiore Metro Sports Centre. Olympic-sized swimming pool and plenty of indoor court facilities, but a lot of history in this gym. It's been a special place for this sport in particular.
I don't want to give away my age, but I'm going to say I played my sixth form national schoolboys tournament down here. Sixth form, that kind of gives it away, I guess. We just saw the opening 2 possessions here. You know, Taylor Britt down the hill, how he started the first quarter. Very aggressive, and he has to remain aggressive. You know, he turned down a shot, wide open 3 at the end of that quarter to make the extra pass, and Ihaka didn't shoot it. He made one more pass, and the shot clock, the game clock ran out. So Taylor Britt needs to remain aggressive for this Rams team. And then Corey Webster on the flip side, drawing 2, making the extra pass, and Goins hitting down the open mid-range shot. This is what I think we're going to continue to see most of the night here.
It's that hard show again by Bowen. Goins, so you see him shoot from beyond the arc, doesn't connect on this occasion. Here comes Britt the other way. Rams trying not to let the Jets defense set, and they make him pay. Kai Isaac.
That's right, and that's the Rams at their best, isn't it? Downhill, pushing the pace, capitalizing on an unset defense.
We've seen this a fair bit. Rams coming out of the quarter breaks with a good start, and concern here. CJ Pena on the closeout, and they're going to call for an immediate substitution here. Unfortunately, CJ Pena, his first game in a Rams uniform at Cowles Stadium. This is his second game of his Cowles NBL career and doesn't look in a good way, Judd.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. I didn't quite see it, but it looks like he's sort of jarred his ankle, whether he turned it, but let's see if he can walk this thing off. He's on that closeout, closing out on Williams Jr.'s three.
Let's hope that it'll just be a. Let's just take a look, second look there. Initially holding sort of an upper end towards the knee, but it will look like a ankle issue. We'll keep you reported if we get any information, but unlikely. You think we're going to see CJ Pena tonight, and again with no Max Darling as well. That means Coach Clinton will have to go deeper into that rotation.
Yes, we saw Ihaka Kate come on in the last stages of that quarter. Expect to see a little bit more of him coming out here.
There's Webster. Quick catch and release. Doesn't go.
And he'll be disappointed he missed that. He had his eye, you know, he had his rhythm jumper into that, and it was half contested, but you know, we've seen him make a lot of those over the course of his career.
Young Totoko Wynyard onto the floor, former Ram, and committing the foul there on Taylor Britton. You said it, Judd, you wanted to see him be aggressive, getting downhill. A couple of examples of that immediately early in the second quarter.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's when they're at their best. You know, when he's driving this offense, and you know, we talk about Corey setting the table for his guys when they're seeing two off the ball screen and finding the open man. Well, Taylor Britt does this in the transition where he's able to get to the, you know, get by his guy and really force the defense to collapse, and then he's finding the open guy.
He's going to take a seat here, Taylor Britt, after splitting the free throws. Tama Isaac back in.
I'm just looking up at the scoreboard and seeing that Gibson has yet to score.
It's a guy averaging just a tick under 25 points a game, so it's a little bit quiet. Understatement there, Miles Gibson. 4 attempts. Smith Milner fires away from downtown, off to the right. Webster escaping the double team, and a foul going to be called on the Jets, and it's Totoko Wynyard again.
Yeah, just after that ball screen, looking to seal Smith Milner underneath the basket. Must have just had lifted his elbow a little bit too high, but that's where you'd put Gibson, you know, like off that ball screen, and you have him in the far weak side corner. Off the ball screen, Corey's able to draw two. If they're able to get that ball quick enough to him on the weak side, he's then got a closeout situation, or a long closeout situation that he can attack or shoot the wide open one if the ball meets him early.
See if the Jets involve Gibson on this possession, as Webster seems to like that matchup with Bowen and creates something with the left.
Yeah, Corey seeing the switch and then really capitalizing on that. They're going to call the offensive foul.
Frustration there for Walter Brown. The foul's not on it. Hey, it's on Kyle Bowen. It's a bit getting called off the ball, the Barter card officials.
And let's talk about that last ISO play for Corey Webster. Like, that might be a better situation if he's going to see the switch, he's going to see the big man on him, being able to space the floor. Like, he can then get to his dribble step back jumper, or if he sees the overplay, he's going to get by him and, you know, draw two or get to the basket and make the tough finish.
It's Eric Williams Jr. now off that left corner, and fair bit of contact there, no call. As the Rams go the other way, and Tama Isaac on the crossover. Professional foul there from Goins. Another look. We're not going to get a look at the Williams Jr. Certainly a foul that one, but
yeah, Williams Jr. got it right there to be disappointed not to get the foul. He thought he'd done enough and landed awkwardly, and usually we see that as a foul as a result.
Here is Tama Isaac. Brown. Go to Bowen. Posts up. And that
nice.
Just one hand off, just all right hand.
Yep,
straight in.
It works for him. It works for him.
Here's Webster now. And Brown with the help. Swat. Under all sorts of pressure here, Walter Brown, but it's going to go his way. And let's Eric Williams Jr. know about it too. The intensity just gone up a notch or two.
Yeah, and it needs to be for the Rams. Yeah, Walter Brown's great read off the basketball. One of the probably understated values that Walter has is just his work and the reads that he has off the ball, both sides of it. Offensively, talk about his back cuts. He reads cutting lanes, he reads his defender's eyes, and then on the defensive end, really does a great job just being a trusted guy off the basketball to help out and be in the right spot.
Left that one short. Went too early, though, to try. He knew straight away off the hand, but to bide his time before attempting an offensive rebound off his own miss. So, 4-point game here in favour of the Rams. Still the offense of both teams, just a little clunky. Defense prevailing there as Bowen, a large chunk of that. And now reads the pass and will go the other way. Enjoy that one to the Aussie. And good news too for the Rams. CJ Pena back up on his feet, shaking off that ankle issue, and he's going to check back in.
Great contest there from Walter Brown, contesting Corey Webster's three-point shot there, and does what he does best, just working off the basketball, putting himself in the right place at the right time. Good time out here from the Jets. Really, I feel like these guys that play a lot of heavy minutes really got to be kind of tactical and timely with your timeouts here, just to give them that added rest. Might see them come out and put themselves in a little bit of a zone here, maybe just to conserve themselves a little bit on the defensive end, slow the game down. That's the impact that the zone has.
Walter Brown picking up from where he left off against the Franklin Bulls. It's been a bit of a stuttering start to his campaign due to injury. Came back, then another issue with the ankle again, but just a total workhorse, really. Constantly. We saw it last season. You would have seen it firsthand, obviously, Judd, and in the season before, just picking up the focal point of the opposition's offense and just never seems to tire. It's massive motor.
Oh, he's the great complementary piece. When you're formulating your roster and your team on the floor, and Taylor Britt sets the table for everybody. You got guys that can shoot and spread the floor. You've got a big man that can get into your pick and roll game, but he's that nice piece that just doesn't need the ball in his hands, but he reads the game so well. And guys like him are really valuable for any team, because they make those timely decisions and they make others look good as well, because they're able to be right there, like I said before, right spot at the right time.
There he is again, picking up Corey Webster. He's just a little bit frustrated by the lack of movement here on this action. It's Gibson now. Can he get something going on his own? And the answer is no. And here come the Rams. Smith-Milner, extra pass. Isaac. Smith-Milner creates another opportunity, and the foul is called. And the body language of the Jets here just needs to improve. I feel like this one's drifting away. They're still in it, just an 8-point game. And a spot of bother, though, in a foul situation. 5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
And one of the challenges for the Jets is how do we get Gibson going? He's yet to really find his groove here, yet to tick over his first points on the scoreboard. You look at their total right now, 26. Corey's getting a lot of attention. Somehow, they've got to find a way to bring him into the game.
There he is with it now. And to Webster. Here's Tyson Bata, leading scorer in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. It's going to go the way of the Rams. Taylor Britt back in for the home team, and subs in as well for the Jets. Manuel Matambanzado.
Here we go, straight into their 3-2 zone. This is what we were talking about a little earlier on.
A little floater there from Kyle Bowen.
And that's how you beat it. You get the ball inside the paint there, you know, playing off your big man.
He's just quietly accumulating as the Aussie big, up to 9 points. Joint top scorer with Taylor Britt as Corey Webster doesn't get a go, but rebound there from Collins. And 3 ball there from Mata Bandazo. And it's Pena the other way. And the Rams pushing this lead out to 14. And needing something desperately on this Jets outfit. They go to Miles Gibson, averaging 24 points a game, yet to score tonight. And stays cold, but Eric Williams Jr. Oh no, you can't do that, my friend.
Tell you what, it was super athletic though, wasn't it?
He almost could have propelled himself through the hoop. Oh. And I'm sure that'll hang in the back of the mind of the Rams players, how athletic Eric Williams is if he gets that first step on those drives. And closing out on those rebounds as well. Britt, there is Bowen, aggressive.
Yeah, too easy there. They get out and hard show on their ball screen, but just no one at home, too late.
There is Eric Williams Jr. now. Connects the 3 ball.
Hit his second for the night.
What about that? Pinpoint pass. And that'll be basket interference. Everyone's going to count.
Jets have really got to pull themselves together here. Just this last 3 minutes of this quarter. You don't want this 15-point lead to blow out. You know, chip away at this thing, get it back to single digits and into the half, and you know, rest up and come out of this of the halftime. But the way things are going right now, they've really got to tidy up some things.
Patience there from Collins. Smith-Milner commits the foul. Might be number 3 on Tohi. And back in comes CJ Pena. Just a little bit ginger on that ankle, but he's going to fight through it.
Yeah, with Smith-Milner on picking up his 3rd foul, you know, Bowen's out there, he's got 2. You know, this will be a big 2 or last 3 minutes of this quarter 2 for him. It's really playing smart defense here and keeping himself away from that 3rd foul.
By Isaac with the rebound. Collins misses both from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Pena thought about it, released. Was it a little short? Trying to get himself into this one. CJ Pena Jr. after the rolled ankle. Only on 4 points. Eric Williams now and plenty of touches in the second quarter. That one doesn't go. Rebounded though by Matambanazzo. And he looked to do it all himself.
Great finish.
Well, they needed that spark, didn't they, Jeb? Just need a bit of energy.
That's right. You know, the ball, you know, guys are tired right now and they're coming out to the last couple of minutes of this quarter, but yeah, just a little bit of life with the basketball, you know, create some energy with it. and I think they may be standing waiting for either Gibson or Webster to go ahead and do something with the basketball. You know, this is where other guys can really capitalize on it, like just what we saw there with Matamanazzo.
Well, Webster and Gibson combine 2 for 17 from the field. So if you're the Rams, you've got to be happy with how quiet you've kept 2 of the Manawatu Jets' most prolific scorers going into this one. Corey Webster leading the league, 26 points a game. Miles Gibson, a shade under 25. Always something in the breaks, isn't there? Is it easy as a coach when you're trying to issue your messages and people are, the young kids usually screaming out for free pizza? Can you get your messages across in here?
It's a different world. I tell you what, like, you just block everything out. Like, it's not, I don't notice anything, honestly. It's just besides what's going on in front of me, yeah. But when I'm commentating like this, like, I see it all now. I'm like, oh, this is what happens. So we see Matamanazzo getting up and in, and this is what he brings to exactly what probably the Jets need.
Russo Nance back in as well as Taylor Britt. Staying aggressive. Foul on Russo Nance. Confused look on the Canterbury Rams captain there.
And you see Marty Davidson call for the hand-checking foul as well. So at least he's been consistent, which is all we ask.
There's Eric Williams Jr. with it now. And trying to create something. There's a good cut from Miles Gibson, and it's only taken just a tick over 18 minutes, but Miles Gibson's underway. Pena trying to do it all on his own, and how are they going to rule this one? Last touch by the Jets. Shot clock at 6. Work to do here for Britt. Tamanadze all over him. Finds Isaac. 3 won't go.
Yeah, the Jets, the last 2 possessions there, just been really, I guess, seen a bit more life in with the basketball there, downhill.
And a bit more life that's created then offensively. Russo Nance. And they get it to 11. There's Isaac now. Turns on a dime. He's trying to get that one to go. Rebounded by the Jets. Cut it to single digits here, entering the halftime break. There's Nance inside to Collins. And here is Gibson now. Great work, Pena Jr. with the stop. And a lot of space here for Britt to negotiate. Finds Bowen, and he draws the foul on Dion Collins. He was on the way up as well.
Yeah, good timing there of the delivery there of the pass. Just Kyle Bowen, another one of those workhorses that we talked about. You know, like Walter Brown, and this is what he does. Just keeps going. You know, like never stops. And once again, another player that somewhat doesn't necessarily need the ball in his hands. He's just happy to fill his role. And
well, some story, isn't it? The crossover with Kyle Bowen and Quinn Clinton at St Mary's. Now a player-coach relationship here in the NZNBL, the Canterbury Rams.
Yeah, St Mary's has been, you know, a school like Danforth too as well. That a little bit of a Kiwi connection. Obviously, a very strong Australian connection with players that have been going there for years and still are.
It's got a 1 second gap here between game and shot clock as Matamanazzo getting some meaningful minutes with a spark plug here for Manawatu. And very cognizant of the clock situation. What can the Jets create to close the half? Isaac Miller-Jones, he could get up! Oh, Oh, yeah! And a BNZ player timeout is called, but let's give him a moment.
Can we see a replay?
Oh, business decision by Walter Brown, but he let him know. Love to see it. And I tell you what, after the Sky Broadband Rapid League experience he had with Jake Holmes, blocked in similar circumstances to those sort of drives, but he wanted his comeuppance. Bowen now, can he beat the shot clock? The 3-ball isn't made. So that'll do it for the first 20 minutes here at Cowles. The Canterbury Rams pushed out to an 11-point advantage. Kyle Bowen doing some damage with 13 points. Taylor Britt with 11. On the other side, Russo Nance with 8, as well as Eric Williams Jr. The Rams have they become accustomed to here at Cowles Stadium, working their way into winning positions. Unbeaten here at this gym so far in season 2025. The Jets have work to do. Let's send it down to Judd from some insights from a Jets perspective. He's got Dante Russo-Nance.
I'm here with Dante Russo-Nance. Dante, you got 8 points in the first half there. You guys are down by 11 points. Talk to me about that first half. You know, how'd you see that?
I just felt like we could have done better on defense. They had a few easy transition buckets that we need to slow down. We worked on defensive box out all week at practice, and they're still getting overboard, so we just need to fix up defensive end. Offense is never really the problem, so once we tighten that up, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot, even though we need to fix those things up.
And obviously, you know, how do you guys climb your way back into the second half and, you know, walk out of this building with a win?
Just like I said, defensive stops, defensive rebounds, and we'll be good.
Yeah. All right, I appreciate you. And I've got Kyle Bowen coming in. Kyle, you guys off to a good start there and able to really sort of, you know, continue your offensive firepower here. Did a good job keeping them restricted to 37 points. How do you guys keep that pressure on them?
I think just what we're looking for right now is some consistency. We know when we're playing our best, you know, it's really hard to hang with us, and I just think right now we're playing in too many spurts. I think we should have string some stuff together.
And for you guys on the offensive end, you know, you guys have been able to capitalize in transition and finding you guys. Is that the game plan for this one?
Yeah, you know, we got so many weapons on the floor. It's just about using every guy, and that goes through to the bench. It's not only the starting five, so just using everybody.
All the best for the second half.
Plenty of basketball still to come here at Cowles Stadium, where the Rams in a good position, leading 48-37. Hope you're enjoying it on TikTok, guys. We're just box score landed as well at the desk. Judd Flavel, Nick Yulee here. And it's been one of those contests, hasn't it, Judd, in many ways, that, as Kyle Bowen just sort of alluded to there in your halftime interview, just sort of spits and spurts as opposed to a real dominance that feels like the Rams have had in previous games. So where do you feel like the adjustments need to be made on their end for them to feel like they're going to get on top of this one and have that momentum continuously?
Yeah, I think they're doing a pretty good job on the defensive end. You know, they've kept their two main threats, I guess, Corey Webster and Miles Gibson, very quiet. Yeah. And that's where it started. And I think if they're able to capitalize, you know, secure those rebounds and loose basketballs, they're able to get out and stretch the floor, which, you know, the Jets will be able to hang with them for a while in the transition game. But over the course of the next 20 minutes, it's really going to be where the game, I think, where the Rams are going to continue to put the pressure on and stretch out this lead. For the Jets, however, I think, yeah, really being able to find a way to get Gibson into the game. You know, he's somebody that has delivered the goods for them in the early stages of the season. So Corey's creating a lot of attention. He's generating a lot of attention. if they're able to find guys off their ball screen, or as we saw at the end of their second quarter, not necessarily working off the ball screen so much. You know, they're not getting as much production out of that, letting the ball move and letting guys being able to attack those closeouts and get to the basket.
One TikTok question here before we rejoin the coverage on Sky Sport. Shout out to Carter Does Edits, by the way. Favourite team that you have coached? On the spot there.
Oh, look, I think last year's Canterbury Rams has to be up there. Like we had, and the reason I say that is because we had a young group, and a very young group when you consider like the average age of it all. But more about the way that they played, you know, and probably the sum of the parts was really what made us so good. Obviously, we had Lockie Olbrich, who was an MVP caliber player, but
pretty good at basketball. Yeah.
You know, other teams have MVP caliber players as well, but it was more about sort of the connection that they had and they played together, and I felt like they played the right way. That would have to be up there, and obviously the team I'm currently coaching with the Tallbacks is a privilege and an honour to be able to do that, and circle back with a lot of guys that I've had connections with since when they were teenagers.
Welcome back to our Sky Sport viewers. Half-time here at Cowles Stadium with the Canterbury Rams leading in the Manawatu Jets 48-37 Sal's NBL action. Nick Bewley with Judd Flavel alongside, and I'm just talking in the commercial break, Judd, around getting Miles Gibson more involved, trying to take the pressure off Corey Webster in many ways. How do the Jets try and get their way back in this one when that very much is their modus operandi? That's how they have been so efficient so far in 2025.
Yeah, well, I guess Corey Webster is a huge part of their offense and getting them going, but you know, they're not able to really, I guess, capitalize against the coverage that they're seeing. And Corey Webster has been able to split a couple of hard shows. He's been able to reject as well, but that in itself is a lot of work for him over in a possession over and over again. So I think really getting a good mix and balance of being able to play off their ball screen, but then moving the basketball, you know, it doesn't have to be off a ball screen, but just moving the basketball, getting it from one side to the other, and allowing guys to really pick their moments to attack a closing out defense, you know, and we saw that at the end of the second quarter where we had some life to it. Yeah. And then you can go back to Corey, you know, you can go back to Webster and play off that pick and roll. But I think, yeah, getting that balance, and hopefully that's able to then get Gibson, someone like Gibson, more touches with the basketball, and he's able to find his groove because he's yet to find his rhythm. And if they're going to get the win tonight, they're going to need his contribution here in the second half.
Take a look at the key stats, courtesy of the Chemist Warehouse. Smith Milner, gee whiz, already up to 10 rebounds. We just have a look at the battle of the boards, actually. The Jets with 22 and the Rams with 30. Winning that battle as well. Taylor Britt, facilitator role, as we've come accustomed to over the last couple of years in particular. 7 assists, though, on it. That average would exceed his season high for assists, which was 13 against the Taranaki Ears. And a block party for the Rams as well.
Just one stat I'm looking at here is the plus-minus of Walter Brown, plus 21 when he's on the court. That's not bad.
Again, it just speaks to his work at the defensive end, in particular, creating, disrupting, always picking up on the focal points offensively. He's just provided a real nuisance all evening so far for Corey Webster in particular. Don't go anywhere. The second half is moments away from Cowles Stadium. There's TikTok viewers with having a quick check to see how things stand in our other game tonight. Sort of flick between the screens on Sky if you like. On Sky Sport 5, flick over to Sky Sport 4. Half-time, Tuatara leading the Indian Panthers 64-39. And no surprises, Will Hickey leading the way, 18 points, 6 rebounds and 4 assists. Almost averaging a triple-double.
Yeah, every single game. He's a great player, old Davo. He's certainly coming off an amazing season with the Illawarra Hawks and grabbing the championship and arguably probably the MVP of the final series, although Matthew Dellavedova got the award. I think a lot of people probably felt like Hickey was the deserved winner. But yeah, certainly bringing a lot of firepower to that Tuatara team, and yeah, really exciting to see the caliber of players like him coming into this league. Also talking about our own Sean McDonald, you know.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how far away are we thinking the Tasmanian Jack Jumpers recruit?
Yeah, like, it's looking good for next week at this stage. So, you know, everything's a day by day at this stage, but he's trending really well, and we've been very patient. He's been very patient, and nothing like a basketballer that's been injured out and been out for a long time. He'd be itching to get back out there. So, yeah, really going to add a lot to this Rams firepower.
Just looking at the Tuatara matchups, which is always for me as a commentator has been the highlight of the season. And then obviously now got Rob Lowe on board as well. Just looking down at the schedule in a couple of weeks' time up there, Tuatara Rams. You still see them as a big-time contender in this competition with the roster that they've built.
I mean, you just Rob Lowe. Any team you put Rob Lowe on is going to be a championship contender. So he is, he's the anchor of their team. And then you've got somebody like Davo Hickey or Will Hickey. He is someone that is going to be also in that MVP caliber. And I think those two themselves are very good players. And obviously they've got a lot of good depth there as well. You know, Tommy Vodanovic. Also got Dan Fortu as well to bring back from Japan. And that could be in a few weeks' time. But yeah, they're going to be a dangerous team and one that's going to be there at the end.
Welcome back to our Sky Sport viewers. Second half about to get underway. Teams keen. I thought they were about to get going before we were back from the ad break. Nick Uli, Judd Flavel alongside Rams with a 48-37 lead. Looking for their fifth win, excuse me.
And I think if you're the Jets, you know, for as I guess a lot of things that we've seen there that they'd hope to sort of make some adjustments, but they're only down 11 points. You know, it got out to 15 and really had that feel like it could have got blown out to maybe 20.
Russo Nance doing it himself.
And here we go. It's back to 8. So if they can just keep themselves, you know, keep control of these possessions and.
End of our mix and pick poll there with a lot of support for the Rams with good reason. As Taylor Britt adds to his account, he's up to 13 points. You've got to think they play a fair bit through Russo Nance. Juddy's leading the scoring so far for the Jets. He's had that monster 35-point game earlier in the season, certainly capable of taking over.
Oh, 100%. You know, like in particular with this team that needs him to score, he's got the skill sets to do that. You know, the growth of Dante is going to be how does he carry his team over the line, and that's at both ends. You know, offense and defensively. You know, he's got the matchup here with Taylor Britt, which is a great matchup and great for me personally to see him take on this challenge. But yeah, as far as the offense is concerned, you know, he's a very skilled player.
Speaking of skilled players, great skill there, and just wherewithal Corey Webster knowing Walter Brown was going to fly through the air there. Took his time.
We just noticed that Williams Jr. is not out there starting. You know, we see Miller Joes, and Miller Joes has actually been great in his minutes.
CJ Pena Jr. Get that 3 to go. Spend some time on the bench during that second quarter. An injury is Goins struggling to get going as well. Kenny Goins.
That was a good look for Goins, you know, wide open, catch and shoot 3, like, and he does shoot it at a good clip. He's, if I look back at my notes here, he's
44% from the field, 32% three-point shooter. So.
32%, so very well capable of knocking that down.
Rams trying to get their new import CJ Pena involved. Looks for him. Let's get to connect here in this third quarter as Webster from downtown rattles around and drops in. And Coach Quinn Clinton wants to have a word just out of nowhere. That double-digit lead evaporated, cut to 5.
Yeah, actually, whether that happened organically, but that could be the blueprint right there for how they attack that hard shows. Putting Dante Russo-Nance into the ball screen, having your best shooter in the gym right now, standing in the weak side corner that we talked about, and being able to get their ball quickly to, you know, how quickly can they come off their ball screen and then find him, you know, and Kyle Isaac was stuck underneath the basket. That direct pass shouldn't have been Kyle Isaac's closeout. He was too far away. He should have become from the next defender there. So, you know, Coach Clinton will be addressing that in this timeout. But, you know, for the Jets, putting Corey elsewhere and allowing Russo-Nance to have the ball in his hands, the ball will find him after that hard show.
And he's out quickly there is Dante Russo-Nance. We'll keep this momentum rolling. 8-2 start to this third quarter for the visitors. And here is Eric Williams Jr. back in. So yeah, just a strategic move there from Coach Tony Webster to reward Isaac Miller-Joseph, perhaps, for his impact on the first half. Where do they go, this ATO? Britt, Bowen, Brown, Pena Jr. Back to Britt. 4 on the shot clock. Gets to his spot in the mid-range. Taylor Britt swishes it home.
Such a nice pull-up jump shooter now in this day and age with Taylor Britt there, in particular going to his right hand.
Like a big bucket, that one there for the Rams. As Gibson the other way. This cold night continues in Christchurch. Bowen pass just a little bit in front of Kai Isaac, who's put a foot out of bounds.
I think it might have been travel, actually, as he was trying to gather that pass. You know, it was just slightly ahead of him.
Yeah. Bit of full court pressure here, too, from the Rams. And again, playing through Russo-Nance. Webster on our commentary side, the weak side corner. And here we go, Kenny Goins.
Yep.
They need a bit more of that, don't they? A bit of variety.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it's really the same concept, but just putting the ball probably in Russo-Nance's hands and him having a receiver on the other side, like finding Webster and now finding Goins in that short corner.
There we go. They change it up again through Webster. Goins. Two-man action. Goins is a 32% three-point shooter, and he shows us why.
There you go. That's where Corey Webster doing a lot of damage now, just not with his shooting, but with his passing game.
As Bowen puts it right in front for Taylor Britt to run on to without breaking stride.
And those are the little counters that the Rams have in their system. You know, really got to be switched on to that. You know, Russo-Nance there got to do a much better job, but just keeping his body into Taylor Britt and not giving him the freedom of movement.
Taylor Britt already at his season average, game high 19 points on 8 of 11 shooting. And just a tick over 18 minutes as Webster drives,
And I talked about this at the start of the game, or maybe somewhere in the first quarter, about running Corey off those stagger screens and allowing him to turn the corner, or just seeing the defense there. He wasn't seeing hard shows because he wasn't working off the ball screen. So there's some good positive signs here, nice and early here in the second half of the Jets.
It's Russo Nance now mismatch after the switch with Bowen. And loves that matchup, Dante Russo Nance.
Seeing the ISO, and this is what they do. You know, ISO basketball with Corey Webster and Dante Russo Nance. Very accustomed to being able to play off the bounce like that if they just seen a single coverage.
Smith Milner, a little bit quiet tonight. Makes the three. A bit of concern though off the ball after the Britt pass. Collided with Kenny Goins.
Yeah, Taylor Britt going down.
Up, yeah.
Taylor Britt going down. I'm not sure if that's an ankle. Seems to be walking that one off.
It'll take a bit more than that to keep him from returning, Taylor Britt, but another storyline to watch. Coach Clinton looks on, hints of look on his face. He just beat the
Tama Isaac just doing what he does, getting up the floor.
Russo Nance now with Isaac on him, trying to get that switch. And Collins. Oh,
great job from Collins. He's been doing that. He did that in the first half too, just getting second chance opportunities.
Webster getting aware of the clock situation. And goodness me, Russo Nance trying his utmost to keep the ball in play. Almost joins our corporate guests. But I like that from the Jets. Those are sort of little 1% effort plays. I didn't quite see in moments of that second quarter. It is evident though in the third.
Well, that's the likes of Miller Jost. That's how he was able to make a good impact in the game in their first half. And that's the same here with Collins, who chasing down those loose rebounds. And they need it, you know. It's the type of player that these guys, the ball is going to be in Russo Nance's hands and Gibson and Webster, but you know, these guys that, oh, we got a technical.
And I believe this is going to be on Corey Webster here, and he just needs to keep a lid on things. It seemed like a very cordial discussion initially with Bartercard official Matthew Bathurst, but obviously something has been said. And Kai Isaac misses the tech free throw at the Chemist Warehouse stripe. We move forward. Rams leading by 5. Pena Jr. into Tohi Smith-Milner. Back to Pena
Shot clock
Jr.
winding down.
Yeah, late in the clock. Forced into a tough look, and not what they were after there, the Jets. And how about this pass? Russo Nance to Williams Jr. Pena Jr. gets a piece. A bit of the arm as well.
Yeah, just that, you know, the offense that we talked about in the first half with the Rams, you know, with the kind of the ball getting through or like slipping out of hands, and there we just see Smith-Milner in the post up and trying to find the cutting Pena, but just wasn't such a clean possession there for them, you know, like that. These type of possessions are ones that they can, I guess they've got to be able to clean up this that stuff.
Collins again fighting the rebound. Doesn't fall the Jets' way on this occasion.
Just keep an eye on Collins and Smith-Milner, battling there on the rebounds. Both players very physical.
Brown from downtown. Count it. Walter Brown into double digits now, 10 points. Go along with 5 rebounds, a couple of blocks as well as that one. Just hangs on the rim there. Kenny Coyne's willing it to fall in his favour. Here come the Rams the other way. This is where they do their damage downhill. Kai Isaac spins. Pena Jr. Little floater.
Nice touch there from Pena, who still looks like he's just struggling a little bit with that ankle.
Back out to a 9-point game now. Good work there initially from Coins. The help defence came, but Collins,
yeah, just keep doing what he does, just crashing the boards.
His first basket of the night. Dion Collins is Smith Milner now. Oh, step back three.
Was that Corey Webster?
Some words after as well.
Yeah, Collins and Smith Milner, they've been going out for a few possessions here.
Smith Milner into double digits. A couple of threes for Tohi tonight. As Walter Brown goes straight up and gets a piece. There's a fair amount of contact there by Kenny Goins.
Walter Brown, if you ever wanted to see a textbook wall up right there.
The Walter wall up.
He's such a great example for younger players too. Like, I mean, does all the little things that you need for a basketball team to win.
And now the Pena Junior 3-ball falls for the first time tonight here in Cowles. And that lead back out to 13. They got it down to 4. The Rams find a way.
Yeah, Jets needed their timeout just to kind of settle themselves down, you know, a few positions there, and you start to see the body language starting to creep in, you know, like get back to the things that they were working on at the start of that, where the ball was moving a little bit better. You know, they just need to see the ball go through the hoop a couple of times. And as I'm just looking towards Gibson too, and you know, still with 2 points, but this is definitely something for the Jets to. Yeah, really got to chip away to get themselves back into it, and they're capable of it. They got enough firepower there. Just, you know, back to the ball screen that they were doing, and I guess the start there with Russo Nance, really, you know, and he was really accepting of the hard show, and then able to find guys off that.
Coach Webster then, just glancing across court, still a lot of conversation between Corey Webster, son of Tony, and referee Matthew Bathurst. And
yeah, he's not going to win that conversation.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. It just feels like if he can, he just needs to let it go.
You know,
there has been a couple of times in the past where look, the crowd, particularly on that side, raucous and make their feelings known. And I don't know if that's what's got under Corey Webster's skin, but anyway, let's talk some hoops. Good three made there by Manawatu to cut it to 10. It's Isaac now, Russo Nance proving a nuisance. Pena Jr. He made his first three of the night. And a ball movement here is Kai Isaac now. Uses his strength. He's got 7 points tonight.
Here we go. They switched the ball screen this time. They rolled it in against the guard.
Webster sit out of that double team. Goins caught in two minds. And now it's Brown. Oh, great work, Webster initially. Brown stays with it. Russo Nance called for the foul on Tama Isaac. Also, Nance thought it was Isaac who created the contact. And another trip to the Chemist Warehouse stripe here.
He did upstairs, if you look at the off arm, but I think he got called for the foul on the lower body there, just with the hip. He does have a case to plead there with the arm, but I don't think that's where the foul was called.
Corey Webster's going to take a seat here late in the third. Emmanuel Matambanazzo back in. Free throw shooting in the Rams, just something that I'm sure they'll be cognizant of. 60% here for the night. Season 2, 67%. That one rolls in. Taylor Britt back in. Walter Brown checks out for a breather.
Yeah, it hasn't been a hot shooting night for the Rams. They're just looking at 5 from 19 from the three-point line. Obviously 9 from 14 from the free throw line. So a lot of points left out there on the court that they, you know, hasn't been a hot shooting night for them.
So Nance now getting to work again.
He actually made that look a lot easier than what it was, being able to bump off a bigger Smith Milner and then rise up for the jumper. Very similar to what kind of we're accustomed to seeing Kaya Isaac do.
There's Britt getting to the right, creating some separation. Loose ball ends up with Tama Isaac. Smith Milner now pulls up from downtown, and Tama Isaac hustling. Who wants this ball? So. And the Jets through Gibson. Trying to get something going here, Miles Gibson. Uncharacteristically quiet, just 2 points on 1 of 10 shooting. Here we go.
This Williams Jr. knocks down his, what's that, his third three?
As the Hail Mary doesn't fall there. Third three for Eric Williams Jr. Just cuts it back to single digits. It's still not all said and done here at Cowles Stadium. Three-quarter time. The Rams lead 73-65. Well, to our TikTok viewers, hope you are enjoying this one on your Friday night here in New Zealand or wherever you are tuning in around the world. So a bit more life in the Jets there. Judd through Dante Russo-Nance is now up to 15 points and 6 of 8 shooting. You take his efficient night away, and it's been a real struggle elsewhere. You feel like they play through him again, go to Corey in the corner and see if that can create some more better looks for this Jets side.
Yeah, that's how they were able to get themselves back into this ball game, and I think you know, as long as they are generating open looks, and they're going to get open looks when they are coming off those ball screens and seeing two and moving the basketball as early as they are. And we're seeing guys being able to get their eye in. And, you know, if they are missing those shots, then key guys that you see on the floor that have made a contribution, I think Miller-Jose and Collins, for example, Williams Jr. does as well. It's just being consistent on the offensive glass as well. But yeah, getting a bit of ball movement and just getting a bit of life into it, like we said in the first half. This is when they look their best.
Welcome back to our Sky Sport viewers. Fourth quarter coming up here at Cowles Stadium in Christchurch. Will it be the Rams who register their 5th win in season 2025 and remain unbeaten here in their home gym, or are we going to see something special from this Manawatu Jets side who are certainly capable offensively?
It's been a little bit of a weird game, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Just the Jets, on one hand, it looks like the Rams are about to run away with this and stretch it out, but then the Jets do a great job of clawing their way back in, and you know, it's an 8-point ball game, which is nothing. You know, and they're quickly, when you look at it, 8 points, they can get 8 points in a hurry.
Yeah, it's 8, but it feels like 18. It's been very bizarre, and a lot is happening on the sideline as well. And in fact, I think that's their import, Kenny Coyne's, now in trouble with one of the Bartercard officials. He's apoplectic now on the sideline. That's his 5th foul, and then committed a tech. And he ain't happy, it's fair to say. It's just one way of quickly summarising it.
That's the last thing they needed.
So that brings Miller-Jose back in. He himself is on 4 fouls. Smith Milner makes the tech foul free throw, and will have possession back at the other end of the court.
You know, these are key moments in while you're defining and creating your team identity. You just, when you got adversity and you're up against it, you're on the road and you seem like you're having a cold shooting night, nothing's going your way, but you're still in this ball game, you know, and being able to fight your way through it. These are moments that can really help your season, you know, get yourselves together, and they've still got a chance to walk out of this building with a win, you know, but they're not going to be able to do that if their focus is on other areas right now. So
well, that was a forced turnover that they needed. Manawatu. Webster with the deflection through the legs of Claire Isaac, and here we go. Russo Nance setting the table. Can Lyle Gibson get going here in the fourth? Miller Jose, he can get up!
we saw Bowen make a business decision there. He thought about it, but he decided not to. Miller Jose could just be exactly what they're after right now.
100%. He is bringing the energy with these plays, showing his full array of athleticism. Let's see if we can get a second look at that baseline drive and dunk from Isaac Miller Jose, the second time tonight. Let's take another look. Here it is. Walter Brown, Kyle Bowen wanted none of it. I don't want to be on that poster. 74-67. Are they going to stop now, Manawatu? Brown gets it back from Bowen. Oh, Walter Brown having a big say on this ball game.
Yeah, big shot from Walter Brown there. While the shot clock's winding down, they didn't really have too much working for them, but
we mentioned it earlier, Judd, in terms of Walter Brown's plus-minus. That's a plus 25 now in a 10-point game as Russo Nance draws the foul from Taylor Britt. There's a fair amount of angst on the court at the moment.
And this is what I was talking about, you know, like you're right there. I mean, it's up to 10 at this stage, but it was down to 5 or down to 7. You know, just a couple of possessions ago. So they're right in this ball game, and even though it feels like they're not, because they're just not scoring as freely and as comfortable as that they would want to, but at the end of the day, I mean, you're right here, and just being able to keep yourselves together, because this is the most important time of the game right now. You know, when the game is 8 minutes left into it, and you know, can you keep yourselves together? Because we've seen teams fold, we've seen teams go cold, and scoreboard pressure and coming back and tightening the gap can do funny things to teams.
Back to an 8-point game as Britt gets it on the weak side. And lovely cut, but Williams Jr. Believe that call, can Eric Williams Jr. But Kyle Bowen is going to get up and head to the Chemist Warehouse stripe and shoot two. Take a second look. A lovely pass from Britt. That's just on the hip there.
And Miller Jose, who we've spoken about, you know, he's got 4 fouls here, but I'd really like to see him play out the rest of this quarter just because of what he's bringing to the table. Yeah, just from an energy standpoint and what that means to this team right now.
Back out to 10. Bowen up to 15. Closing in on a season high as Kyle Bowen. As Williams Jr. doesn't get the roll. Rebounded by Smith-Milner. And here come the Rams. Brown. Oh, the work there. Eric Williams Jr. with the steal. Pull up 3. Short. And again, that feeling of 1 step forward, 2 steps back and away, but Manawatu just unable to quite capitalise on the moment when it presents. There's Tama Isaac now crashing the boards, but ends up with Russo Nance.
Yeah, need a good position here. You know, had a couple of quick looks.
Lovely fine, Russo Nance. Gibson just tentative.
Great close out there from Bowen. Just quietly, just going, keeping them quiet and sliding, and coming up with the steal. Great play, great possession. 2 back-to-back possessions there from Bowen as he's calling for the sub.
Out to 12 now as Webster finds Miller-Jose and just doesn't fall. It's Bowen desperate for a sub. Isaac in the corner. And we have to play on from here. Still 6.5 to go. The lead is 12. Gibson. Swatted by Bowen. Brown almost with the steal. As Russo Nance just puts it up out of nowhere, and a foul committed by Miles Gibson, trying to contest the rebound. Well, it sums up the night, that possession, in some ways, for Manawatu.
Yeah, just kind of losing their way a little bit. This is a good timeout for them, or the Rams called this timeout, but this is exactly what the Jets need.
Get involved in our Mix and Pick MVP poll as well. Bit of love out there for Isaac Miller-Jose after those highlight reel slam dunks, which is great to see. I want to join the Miller-Jose fan club. But just taking a look at the split of scoring for the Rams, as we see so often, a real collective effort. Could be anyone's night. Taylor Britt there, his season average of 19. But Kyle Bowen, this might be game 3 or game 4 for him, slotting into this system. But another piece that very much feels like can do multiple things, and in an unselfish way. Doesn't have to have multiple touches.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about similarities to Walter Brown, and the guys just keep going, and they give everything towards the team, and you're never going to see bad body language from them. You're going to see them continue to play through, things, and just their ultimate complementary pieces, and capable of putting points on the board. Like tonight, for example, Bowen with 15, Walter Brown with 13, but they're capable. They don't need the ball in their hands. They're very effective off the basketball, and can impact it in many ways. And those pieces are very sought after, I can tell you that are very happy with who they are and how they contribute to the team winning. I think, in my mind, those are what winners look like, and when they're able to sort of put the team first in many ways rather than them themselves.
Kyle Bowen with Melbourne United, of course, in the ANBL Grand Final Series, which went down to the wire, won by the Illawarra Hawks. Missing both those free throws, but a big say on this contest. 15 points, 11 rebounds, 3 blocks as well.
Sorry, we've got an interesting matchup here, right here at the top here, with Kyle Bowen guarding the smallest player on the floor, with Matavanazo.
And Corey Webster.
You see the matchup. They got Taylor Britt guarding Corey Webster. This is something that keep an eye on this, and the way that the Jets look to attack that.
Isaac to Isaac. Older bro puts it on a plate for younger bro.
Big shot. Big shot. The Jets coming out in the zone, might see them stay in the zone too, just to kind of like throw the Rams rhythm off.
Webster, two-man game. Williams Jr. does ever so well to keep that one in play. Miller-Jose now, the hook. And here come the Rams. Bowen pushing the pace first. Following up, the Tama Isaac miss. And that just exemplifies Kyle Bowen's night. The 1%ers stacking up.
Yeah.
So Nance now creating that separation all the time in the world.
Yeah, good body control, being able to get to bump Tama Isaac off and establish his balance off the 2 feet. But going back to Bowen, that's exactly what he's been known for, and you know, I guess somebody that somebody that just quietly goes about his business and blue-collar worker, as they say.
Commits the foul there, but just knows one speed is Kyle Bowens. We take a look here. The camera focuses on him. Quite going to see the Tama miss, but then you see the Kyle Bowen follow and tip in. So he checks out, equaling his season high that he had against the Wellington Saints. Kyle Bowen, a couple of 17-point games since joining the Canterbury Rams. CJ Pena Jr. caught committing the foul in the eyes of the officials.
And Smith Milner has been very good in his hard shows tonight. You know, really, you know, a lot of focus has been on Corey Webster, and I guess it's not a stat that will show up, but the amount of times that he's been out early and been vertical and able to really keep him quiet and, you know, off the ball screen.
Something out of NBA Street Jam there, as Russo Nance finds Williams Jr. and doesn't go. In the air, just a little bit out of the gym here, going through the motions, even though it's just 12 points. Rounds 3 doesn't drop. Here to Manawatu, turn 2. And Russo Nance loses the handle, gets it back. Circus shot and the foul.
There's a chance here to cut it back down to single digits. Just not going away, are they? I mean, they're able to keep themselves around. They got one more sort of spurt in them, you know, just to kind of make this thing interesting. It's going to start on the defensive end and getting these stops and being able to chip away at the scoreline.
Russo Nance makes the three-point play, up to 22 points, leading Manawatu tonight. There's Brown with the no-look. Tama Isaac, the extra pass. Pena Jr. doesn't make. There we go, door open. Oh, a bit of cramp for Eric Williams Jr. Goodness me. Looks uncomfortable.
He's not in good shape right now, yeah.
He's going to say, I think I can walk it off. Looked like he was walking the tightrope there at one point. And he's going to check out. Back it comes Miles Gibson, averaging just under 25 points a game, but it has not been his night. Done the half an hour on court, 1 from 9 from the field. 2 points. But hey, little spurt here over 3 minutes and 21 seconds. It's a winning contribution. I don't care about the previous 36.5 minutes. It's got to be the mindset for Manawatu. There is Gibson now, and Matambanadzo on the floor. It's going relatively small here in Manawatu, and how about that? Matambanadzo, that little spark plug, cuts it to 7.
Make life interesting right now as they fall back into their 3-2 zone.
Tama Isaac with it in the corner. Britt showing a bit of space. Taylor Britt away to the right. No, somehow falls in.
Just a soft touch of that left hand, Taylor Britt.
Got a breeze in here at Cowles. 21 points for Taylor Britt. Jets, where's the urgency? Russo Nance taking his time. Gets it to Webster. And lovely finger roll layup. Strong drive from Corey Webster. 7-point game it is again.
It is, yeah. They're right there, as they have been. Yeah. As they have been for the majority of the game.
Rams know time and the score is on their side. Don't want to get too comfortable. As Kai Isaac pushes it out to Tama Isaac in that right corner. Offensive rebound, Pena Jr.
Big play there from CJ. Pena getting himself prime position for that offensive rebound.
And now Britt from the top of the key downtown. Doesn't go. Collins with the rebound. Big possession this. 1:40 to play.
Massive. And the ball's in the right guy's hands.
There's that hard show from Tohi. Webster can't connect with Matambanazzo. And here come the Rams. This might be it. And Pena Jr. with the follow. And Webster crashing into the tables at Cowles, trying to contest the layup. And Russo Nance 3 is wild. And now the other way, Tama Isaac. Plenty of contact there by Webster, who didn't get back in the play until a few seconds prior. So take another look at the replay there.
Yeah.
Big swing.
Got some sore bodies here in the later stages of this game.
Worth noting too, the Jets back in action in a couple of days' time. Finally at the comforts of Fly Palmy Central Energy Trust Arena, but it's a quick turnaround for them. They look worse for wear as well. They'll host the Taranaki Airs.
Nothing like heading home though, you know, like being on the road for so long. You know, this is something that this will be their second home game, and they do actually, you know, what did they say? Is this their 5th or 6th game on the road right now? But you've got the majority of your road games out of the way.
Yeah, well, they've already done the
season.
The southern swing, the Nuggets and Sharks, and you chalk up this visit to Christchurch as well.
And there's plenty of growth left in them too. And if they can find their way out through this, like they're going to be a team. They're going to be a very dangerous team at the back end of the season here.
Also Nance, the elevation there. Block on the Brit attempt is Webster. Just away to the right in that three-point attempt. Less than a minute to go. The margin is 9. Long way home for Manawatu. Containing the damage here, you feel. As the Rams know that time is well and truly on their side. Looking to move to 5-2. Join the Wellington Saints and the Franklin Bulls with that record at the top of the Sal's NBL table.
Just looking at Bowen's stat line here, 14 rebounds, 17 points, 5 offensive rebounds. As well as all the other little things that we talk about that he does.
Yeah, the stuff that doesn't show up on the box score. Little effort plays as Russo Nance asks for a dance. And here we go, Bowen again, just slinging the pass. No one at home. Touchdown, Rams. And the shot clock is off. Interesting, though, hearing that Rams coach Quinn Clinton wants a timeout called if they do get it back here. I don't know if the Jets are going to put it up. They do, through Russo Nance. Time expires, and that's all she wrote. At Cowles Stadium, their unbeaten record at home continues for the two-time defending champions. They beat the Manawatu Jets 92-81. Big night, as mentioned by Judd, from Kyle Bowen. Jose Miller-Joseph's going to walk away with that mix and pick MVP poll. Fair enough, too. A couple of outstanding moments from him, but just a moment on Kyle Bowen, an Australian import out of Melbourne United. 17 points on the night, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. That's Sal's NBL fantasy. You'd be pretty happy with that if he was in your lineup, Kyle Bowen. Another impressive night too from Taylor Britt, 21 points. That's 6 players in double-digit scoring for the Rams. Bowen, Britt, Walter Brown was also very influential. CJ Pena Jr., Tohi Smith-Milner as well. So the Rams roll on, they respond. And that loss on Wednesday night, a bit of adversity as well, losing Max Darling, game time decision out with calf soreness. And they protect home court, which goes a long way to being there at the business end of the season. Going to acknowledge those who have come out here, as they always do at Cowles Stadium, back in Sunday week, Easter Sunday, hosting the Otago Nuggets. Let's send it down for some post-game reaction. Judd standing by, Kyle Bowen.
All right, I'm here with Kyle Bowen. You guys were able to keep this Jets team down to 81 points. They were coming into this game with leading the league in scoring. How are you guys able to do that?
I think just a heavy focus on their big three. You know, obviously their backcourt and Dante and Corey are elite in this league, and you know, just shutting down them, having a heavy focus. But no, just haven't got the win and held in such a good number.
And you yourself had a great night, you know, stepping up with 17 points and 14 rebounds, I think. You know, 5 of those on the offensive end. This is what we know that you bring to the table, but how are you finding yourself here? You know, you've been here for a little bit now, and with the Rams, you're finding your feet here?
Yeah, definitely. We've got a great system, great coaching staff, great players. I'm just trying to do my bit. I think we're at the point where we're trying to find our identity and you know, building our championship habits. So just continuing to be a lead in those areas and you know, keep building something special at the end of the season.
And you guys got a little bit of a break now, you know, heading into next week with, I believe, is it the Otago Nuggets coming into town? So obviously probably not first thing on your mind, but how do you keep this going and building your identity, you know, for this next month coming up in April?
Yeah, just take a little break. I'm still kind of, like you say, new to the town, new to the team, so do a little bit of bonding, but, you know, back on Monday and straight back to work. I think, you know, it's only going to build with time, and that's what we got next week.
Oh, good job on the night, mate.
Big questions, though.
It really is entertaining watching Judd play. We're very much part of the furniture here in the Canterbury Rams. Dual role, if you like. Us here, we're very grateful he's part of our team at Sky Sport as well. As we take a look at some of these key stats, courtesy of our friends at the Chemist Warehouse. And Dante Russo-Nance can walk away, head held high. He didn't really put a foot wrong tonight. Tried to put this Jets side on his shoulders. Kyle Bowen, as Judd mentioned, getting it done in a multitude of ways. Crashing the boards and being there to capitalise offensively as well. And Taylor Britt, worth mentioning too, to shout out the 21 points, but the 9 assists as well. And we'll take a look at that discrepancy there on the blocks. 3 each for Brown and Bowen. 9-2 from a team standpoint. It's just your final assessment, Judd, as you join us back in the commentary position on a night where the Rams didn't have it all their own way, but still found a way.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they kind of had a weird feeling to the game, and a lot of it, I'm just looking at the stats here, the three-point shooting was off tonight, you know, 23%, and the times that they've been sort of cold from behind the arc, they've lost. So they were able to generate those points in a lot of different ways, and it was more of a night where they would get into the basket, get into the rim, and then either getting themselves to the, just generating easy points at the basket. But it had a little bit of a messy game in patches and different patches, and I'm not sure if that was just a quick turnaround coming back from the Wednesday game against the Bulls. But look, they did enough tonight to keep the Jets at bay, and the Jets kind of never really got going, and I think you got to contribute that a lot of that to the Rams, in particular on the defensive side. But you know, this Jets team, obviously they go back home, and they've been on the road a lot, as we've been talking about, and they get a chance to go ahead and consolidate.
We can catch the Jets on Sunday evening hosting the Taranaki Airs. Plenty of Sal's NBL to come, of course. It'll be all here on Sky Sport. Next action is the Otago Nuggets tomorrow afternoon, hosting the Wellington Saints, who could jump back up again and be the first team to register their 6th win in the 2025 season. That'll do us from Cowles Stadium in Christchurch, where once again the Canterbury Rams have protected home court Too good for the Manawatu Jets. Final score 92-81.